Hi everybody, it's Jill from Park at Theme Parks Edition. I'm coming to you from my front porch today. I'm wearing my up-themed dress. You can't really see it, but I'm missing Disneyland a lot today. I don't know if I will be able to get there in August or not like I originally planned. And I know that all of you are missing parks and rides and attractions, and that is what this video is going to be focused on today. I'd asked you guys a while back what attractions and rides and roller coasters you were missing the most during the COVID shutdown. And so I've made a list of 7 of those rides that you've told me, and we're just gonna go through and talk about those. I'm gonna show you photos and footage, and I'm going to tell you some facts, maybe some things you didn't know about each ride. So please watch the whole video. I'm gonna ask you questions along the way. I'd love your feedback, so let's just jump right in. For those of you who are new to my channel, the whole purpose of my channel is to help you maximize your theme park experiences. So if you're new, please consider subscribing so that I can help you. And if you're not new, welcome back. I'm so happy that you're still here and still watching my videos. I really appreciate it. Since there are 7 rides I'm going to be talking about today, I'm just going to start with number 7 first and go 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So these are not in any particular order, but the first ride I'm going to talk about is Splash Mountain. And in my research, I actually found out some interesting things about Splash Mountain. For example, there's no Splash Mountain at Disneyland Paris, and there's no Splash Mountain at Disneyland in Shanghai. Also, the Splash Mountain in Orlando is 2 minutes longer than the one in Anaheim. So I thought that was really interesting. Some of you may or may not be aware that Splash Mountain is going to be rethemed after the movie The Princess and the Frog. And when I first heard this news, I wasn't terribly happy about it, but I also realized that people who frequent Disneyland often are very nostalgic and they don't really like change. And so a lot of people haven't warmed up to the idea. But as I've been thinking about the movie The Princess and the Frog, I realized that a big part of that movie takes place on the river. So a log flume ride relating to that movie will actually be really great, and I think it's going to end up being a good ride if we give it a chance. And whether or not we like it, I think we just have to warm up to the idea and try to be positive about it, because the change is going to happen either way. And to be honest, when I was young, the ride opened up when I was about 10 years old. And even at the time, I thought it was a little bit interesting that the main characters are Brer Rabbit, Brer Fox, and Brer Bear, which aren't really Disney characters. I had never seen the movie Song of the South, so I didn't get the reference at all. I love the song Zippity Doo Dah, and I will miss that a lot, but I hope that we will give the new ride a chance. And I want to hear your thoughts about the retheming of this ride. What do you think? Are you excited about the change? Not excited? Let me know. If you've been on the different versions of Splash Mountain, I would love to hear about that as well. So that's number 7, Splash Mountain. Before we jump into number 6, I wanted to let you know that half of the rides on this list are Disney attractions and half are not. So I'm going to break it up by doing every other one as a Disney attraction. So this one won't be a Disney attraction. I'm going to talk about Nitro, and this is found at Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey. I've actually never been on this ride. I've never been to this park, but I've heard really good things about it. Nitro was manufactured by B&M, and it's a steel coaster. It stands at 230 feet high, and it reaches a top speed of 80 miles per hour. It originally opened in 2001, and there are no inversions on this coaster, but it has a really unique element called a hammerhead turn, where the ride basically just veers to the right and does a U-turn. So that's a unique element of this ride. If you've been on this ride, please talk about it in the comments section below. Let people know what it's like and why you'd recommend it and what you loved the most about it. If that was the favorite feature on the ride, let me know that as well. I'd love to know. One of the reasons why people love this ride so much is that the trains can load really quickly. The way that the station is set up, they're able to get people on and off really quickly, and they're able to deploy the trains very quickly. So I'm super excited to ride it someday. I have never been to this park, and I hope that I get a chance. Nitro received the Golden Ticket Award for many years for being the 3rd best steel roller coaster. So I am very curious to ride it, and I do want to hear about your experiences, so please comment below and let us know all about it. Okay, moving along with my list, we are at number 5, back to a Disney attraction, which is Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. And this is a dark ride, which is a drop tower ride, and it can be found at Disney's California Adventure. I really love this ride. When I first heard that it was going to be rethemed as Guardians of the Galaxy, I wasn't terribly excited, but I had a chance to ride it last year, and I really, really enjoyed it. Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout replaced Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, but this ride still exists at Disney's Hollywood Studios in Orlando, Florida, so if you want to ride that, you can still ride it. I still prefer the original Twilight Zone Tower of Terror to Guardians of the Galaxy, but both are really fun rides, and I think it just completely depends on your personality as to which one you like better. Guardians of the Galaxy for me has a more fun and humorous feel to it, and the whole storyline of the ride is Rocket Raccoon is trying to help the Guardians of the Galaxy escape from the collector's collection that they're all a part of. So it's fun, and there's some really fun music in the ride. Born to Be Wild, I Want You Back by Jackson 5, Hit Me With Your Best Shot by Pat Benatar, and a lot of other really great songs. And they actually sell the soundtrack in the gift shop, which I thought was kind of fun. This ride is only 2 minutes and 10 seconds, but what it does in that time is pretty significant. It really packs a punch. It's a lot of fun. It'll make you laugh, it'll make you scream. There's nothing quite like a drop tower for me as far as thrills go. I find them to be one of the most thrilling rides that I've been on. But I definitely want to hear about your experience as well. Have you been on this ride? Do you like it? How do you think it compares to Twilight Zone Tower of Terror? Do you like it better? What do you think? Let me know, comment below. The next ride that I'm going to talk about on this list that you said that you're missing is Intimidator 305. This is a steel roller coaster manufactured by Intamin, and it can be found at Kings Dominion in Boswell, Virginia. The ride is named the Intimidator after NASCAR driver Dale Earnhardt. That's his nickname, is the Intimidator. So it's race car themed, and the angle on the first drop is 85 degrees. And if there was one word that I had to use to describe this ride, it would be forceful. It's an extremely forceful ride. I actually had the opportunity to live in the DC area for about 5 years, so I visited Kings Dominion on several occasions, and I actually got to ride Intimidator 305 just 1 month after it opened. Kings Dominion received feedback from people that they were graying out, that they were losing their vision, and some people were even losing consciousness a little bit. So Kings Dominion decided to modify the ride in the beginning. They added trim brakes to the hill, which slowed the ride down. It is supposed to be at 90 miles per hour, and this slowed the ride down to less than 90 miles per hour. But then when the next season was coming up, they decided instead to remove the trim brakes and modify the banked turn. It turns really sharply right after the first hill. They were able to take off the trim brakes, and now the ride is back up to 90 miles per hour. So I will say that when I rode this ride, I didn't enjoy graying out. Some people don't mind that experience, but I didn't find it to be very enjoyable. But I'm curious to know what you think. Have you been on this ride? Did you experience a gray out? Did you experience a loss of vision? How do you feel about that? Some people that I was riding with didn't seem to mind. I guess these sensations are caused from the intense G-forces. The ride is very intense, but it still is a really, really fun ride, and I can see why you were all missing it. And I think Kings Dominion is an absolutely fantastic park. If you haven't had a chance to visit and you live on the East Coast, definitely make it a priority to get there. The next ride on my list is one that I am very excited about because in the process of researching, I found out so much about this ride that I didn't know. And this ride, I'm sure almost all of you watching this video have been on it, is Space Mountain. And I'm actually going to tell you about all of the different Space Mountains, not just the one in Disneyland. But there are Space Mountains at Disneyland Park in Anaheim, Magic Kingdom in Orlando. There's also one at Tokyo Disneyland, Disneyland in Paris, and there's also one at Disneyland in Hong Kong. There is no Space Mountain at Shanghai Disneyland, but that is the only Disneyland that doesn't have one. Here's a little quiz to see if you know your Space Mountain facts. Did the original Space Mountain open at Disneyland in Anaheim, or did it open at Magic Kingdom in Orlando? It actually opened up in Orlando first, and I didn't know this until I researched. Also, another little question in my quiz. Which Space Mountain between the one at Disneyland and Orlando has 2 tracks? It's actually the one in Orlando. It has 2 tracks, and you can ride either one. Space Mountain in Anaheim was supposed to have 2 tracks, but because of limited space, they were not able to do that. The original Space Mountain was built by Aero Development Company. They're also the same company that built Matterhorn. So Disney just went ahead and used them again for Space Mountain. The Space Mountain in Tokyo is pretty much a clone of the one in Anaheim. The one that I find the most interesting is the Space Mountain in Paris because it actually has a launch and there's 3 inversions. So it's unlike any of the Space Mountains that I've ever been on. And I would love to hear if you've been on Space Mountain at Paris Disneyland. Tell me how you liked it. Tell me how you thought it compared to the others. In my mind, it obviously would be much better. That Space Mountain opened up in 1995. The one in Tokyo opened up in 1983. The one in Disneyland in Anaheim opened up in 1977, and the original opened up in 1975. It's kind of fun to learn about the different ones. Okay, so I'm really excited about the next ride that you've brought to my attention, which is Goliath, and this can be found at Six Flags Great America in Gurnee, Illinois. I've also never been to Six Flags Great America. I would love to hear more about it. If you have been to the park, please comment below. Let me know what your favorite rides were there. I am especially excited to talk about this ride because it was built by one of my favorite manufacturers of roller coasters, which is Rocky Mountain Construction. And as some of you know, Steel Vengeance is my absolute #1 favorite roller coaster of all time. And that ride is at Cedar Point, and it was built by Rocky Mountain Construction. So more on Goliath. It opened in 2014. Goliath replaced a ride called Iron Wolf. This roller coaster was moved in 2011 to Six Flags America. So Goliath has several interesting things about it, and when it opened, it set several records straight out of the gate. First of all, it has the steepest angle of any wooden roller coaster at 85 degrees. Also, for a wooden roller coaster, you don't see inversions very often. You do with RMC coasters, but this ride has 2 inversions. It also has the longest drop of any wooden roller coaster at 180 feet. I'm super excited to ride this. I hope that I get a chance to, and I hope I get a chance to visit this park. Okay, so the last experience I'm going to talk about, the #1 countdown to my list, is going to be building a lightsaber. So if you've ever wanted to do this, you can have this experience at Disneyland Park, and you can also do it at Hollywood Studios in Orlando. So what you're going to do is you're going to head to Galaxy's Edge, and you're going to make your way to the Black Spire Outpost. There's 4 different themed lightsabers that you can build: Peace and Justice, Power and Control, Elemental Nature, and Protection and Defense. Lightsabers are made up of 1 hilt, 4 sleeves, 2 emitters, 2 pommel caps, and 2 sets of activation plates, which sounds pretty intense. I've never done this before. I have 2 little boys and would love to do it. If you have built a lightsaber, please comment below and let me know how you liked it, how you felt the experience went, if you felt like it was worth it. And I guess you bring the lightsaber to life with the help of Kyber crystals. If you don't want to be discovered by the First Order, you have to protect the shop's secrecy. I have no idea what that means. I'm fascinated. There's some things about this experience that I think you should know if you're considering doing it. First of all, it's going to cost you about $200, so it's definitely not cheap. It's recommended for kids 5 and older, and the experience is limited to the builder and 2 guests, one of which has to be at least 14 years old. I'm not exactly sure what this experience is going to be like in light of COVID. I'm not sure if they're canceling it completely. I'm sure it's going to be something that's just up in the air. So anyway, if you've done it, if you've experienced it, let me know. I'd love to hear more about it. All right, so that's my list of 7 things. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment below and let me know what kind of videos you want to see in the future. I'm done doing COVID-19 updates because I just can't keep up with that. Things change too fast. Anyway, thank you so much for watching Park at Theme Parks Edition. I hope you have a fantastic day. I hope we can connect soon, and I hope that your parks will open back up as long as the COVID cases are under control where you are. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I will hopefully connect with you soon. Instagram is @LoveToParkIt, and Facebook is Park at Theme Parks Edition. Please find me there so that we can connect and chat about all things theme parks, rides, roller coasters, and more. Thank you. Bye.